Hey guys, this is Anime Love, and we're going to be doing a comment read for the last chapter, chapter 24.1 of the manga verses. Okay, so I do apologize that I didn't get to it sooner, but again, I've been busy. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the comments. Okay, this is for chapter 24, part 1. Okay, a lot of comments here. All right. So the first comment is from uh, Feeling Nostalgic 3831. So he or she says, that was one weapon of the many weapons Kyoki have. One of the seven evil organizations. Lawless have solidified themselves as a contender in this natural enemy battle royale. They also have won their first ever official to the death matchup. Anywho, the star of this chapter is not the lawless, it's the parasites. I love that the parasite threat is in it infection, which is different from all the other natural enemies minus the curse. And what makes the parasites a compelling enemy is the fact it provides us, the viewers, with different variations of infected beings and natural enemies. I agree, bro. I agree with everything that you said. I agree that I'm sure that the lawless have many different weapons to use from the knowledge that they've accrued over time. And I definitely feel like they have solidified themselves as contenders amongst all of the natural enemies. Totally agree with you there. And I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know how they're going to be able to compete with all these other enemies, but they definitely showed me that they're up for the challenge. And I also agree with you that the parasite definitely got its shine in this chapter as well, taking over the tyrant bear and eating the titans and stuff like that. And you know, I agree that it is really cool to see different variations of the parasite. You don't just get one type or one look. Depending on what it takes over, it can change its look completely. It can change its capabilities. So, yeah, this is really cool. All right, man, great comment. Great comment. All right, so let's go down to the next one here. All right, so this one is from Jury Worst. So Jury says at 34 minutes and 21 seconds, gotta disagree. Not only is the kaiju about 39 times bigger, it tanked far more worse stuff, and it is, as far as we know, a singular natural enemy. I think kaiju immune system is as powerful as Genbok, if not more. That is a great comparison, man, because I actually said this in the last video that I just put out for chapter 24 part 2. I don't think that the parasite can affect Genbok as well, because when Genbok was fighting Dinganenzal, the 23rd Demon Lord, she used a similar method that the parasites used. She spat out some maggots, some worms that were supposed to enter his body, and then they were supposed to start eating his organs from the inside out. Okay, and Gembok literally just sneezed these parasites or these maggots out of his system and was completely fine. Okay, that to me kind of puts Gembok on a god level. To where, yeah, he's amazing, bro. Gimbok, again, I was comparing Gimbok to like Zeus or Ares or Hercules or whatever. I mean, he's super strong, but he's also invincible. So yeah, and I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that the kaiju is probably on that same level. God, it really sucks that there's only one kaiju. It really does. But I think that the fact that one has incorporated only one kaiju in this story makes me believe that if the kaiju was going to be, a contender amongst the other enemies, this kaiju is going to be pretty invincible as well. It's going to be super strong, which we've seen. I mean, it blew up an alien warship and was completely fine. It's so monstrous, nothing could really affect it. And you may be right. I mean, I'm just going based off of what I've seen. As far as the panels go, they looked similar in size, but of course, like we're not really getting a side by side comparison. So you may be right. The kaiju may be, 10 times or 39 times larger than this tyrant bear slash parasite. So, I mean, I hope it is too, because I really want the kaiju to, you know, just do crazy damage. So, I agree with you there. Great comment, Jerry. Great comment. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Okay, so Al Perennial Maz 9303 says, I bet Jachi will be the one to take out the parasite worm. Right. That's what I was thinking, bro. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that, Jachi's probably gonna come through and take out the parasite and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know, man. We could, we kind of been thinking that Jachi's gonna come through and kill a bunch of stuff and save people, unknowingly or unintentionally. But who knows, man? Just like the fight between the Materins and the demons and the kaiju, Jachi might show up at the end. He might show up at the end and just kind of be trying to investigate what took place before he got there. So you never know. All right, great comment. All right, so let's do this one here. So this one is from Doodle Derp 2546. So Doodle Derp says, few things I want to talk about. One, why the heck does the Cursed Lands have access to that? Bro, same here. Like, how do they have this kind of technology? Like, who invented it? How did you invent it while dealing with the curse? It is very bizarre how they have that kind of technology. Two, I love the Parasite Bear design. It reminds me of a metal album cover. Yeah, damn, bro. I didn't even think about that. That is true. There was a lot of metal album covers that were similar to that. Like, I think a good example would be like Disturbed or, I don't know, maybe Korn or, yeah, man. There, you definitely may be right there for sure. That's awesome, man. Three, these parasites are crazy. They just waiting for any meal the moment it drops. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, don't get a weak immune system around these parasites, bro. They on it. And four, sadly, still no new recreational stuff, yet I'm still hyped for when they gonna fight God. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And obviously I'm doing this comment read late. We just got chapter 24.2. They did show that more than likely God is going to be entering the story here soon. And I wonder if shortly after God enters the story, are we going to see the recreational, I think they call it extermia now. Are we going to see extermia, kind of immediately after God enters? If so, how? Bro, this shit is blowing my mind. Anytime I think about, well, what's gonna happen, and if this happens, is that gonna happen? It just starts blowing my mind, and then I'm like, okay, dude, I'm getting overloaded. So let me just, with excitement and like giddy. So let me calm down. All right, great comments, Doodle. Great comments. All right. So this one is from XJ. So XJ7, Oh, nice. I like how you put that together. Okay. So XJ says, as expected, the bear stood no chance. But I must admit, I didn't even expect Renry to do some of the shit he pulled out today. Notably, one tapping the bear and dodging Parasite with ease. God was hinted upon two times with the cathedral opening panel and Renry's statement in this chapter about believing in something you can't see. So I expect God to appear this arc. Parasites had one hell of an awakening. Their stocks have risen as as they took over a whole forest. Not looking good for Gaia this chapter, bro. XJ, you are becoming somewhat of a crystal ball, bro. Because your predictions are very on point. Again, we got chapter 24.2 today. So we are able to confirm a lot of what you just said here, bro. You know, for one, you're right. You know, the lawless, again, have definitely showed what they're capable of. And again, this is just one faction. You know, there's other lawless factions out there. And I don't know if this one is necessarily done either. And you're right. He did just one tap that bear, you know, kind of knew exactly how many souls he needed for the amount of firepower he needed. And he one tapped the tyrant bear, which was impressive considering there were three titans that were struggling to take it down. That gives credit to the lawless as well as the cursed lands for having that kind of technology. And then you were absolutely right, man. They definitely were hinting at God with chapter 24.1. And it does look like maybe for chapter 25, he will be appearing. So, bro, your predictions are very, very on point, man. Really, really good predictions, bro. And I agree with you too. The parasites, their stock, it does just keep rising for sure. The parasites are really impressive. All right. So, okay, great, great comment, XJ. On to the next one. All right, so we're gonna read more. Ooh, this is a long one. Translate. Okay. All right, so Time I 2958 says, for my part, I think that the continuation of the event, there is a strong chance that the natural enemy of the religious world could arrive in an unexpected way. I think of this enemy because there is a lot of thing which currently connects it to the church, the sacrifices, the fact that it is shown after the outlaws, etc. I have a theory that can be crazy, but it is in the possible cases. My theory that it is the leader of the outlaws who faces calls to the enemy of the religious world, praying for this to come so that he helps him get rid of this giant parasite. It seems crazy, but it is not impossible, because already at the end of chapter 24, I find that the leader of the outlaws was much too calm despite the situation that escaped him, and this may mean that he may have one last trump card in his sleeve, which can be linked to a kind of weapon that he can use against an enemy. And therefore, this famous weapon could be linked to a weapon from another world, and therefore perhaps from the god of the religious world. Then why I say that the head of the HLL will call, the lawless maybe, will call God while praying, because already prayer is a personal relationship with God. The five main forms of prayer are blessing, adoration, prayer of request and intercession, prayer of thanksgiving, and prayer of praise. And given that the entity is real in the religious world, it would not be surprising if he comes himself. Also, what gave me this idea of calling with a prayer is the fact that in chapter 12 of Verses, we can see people from the religious world trying to pray for someone to come to their aid, but our comrade prevents him from praying, which is strange. Moreover, the outlaws accumulate lots of information in the 13 world and capture and torture lots of different people. Here's my theory. Thanks for reading. Okay. Yeah, no. You again, chapter 24.2 just recently came out, and you were also correct, but well, correct partially because it definitely, I mean, it wasn't really made clear whether Renri knew about God. Now, when he made that comment towards Zabi saying like, "Oh, you're trying to kill us all, aren't you?" When Zabi was like, "Tell us more about the worlds that you know," he could have been referring to, "Oh, you want me to tell you about God? Oh yeah, you're trying to kill us all." So Renri could have known about God, possibly, but it's also a possibility that he wasn't aware of God, because God didn't come until the lawless henchmen were kind of just standing around and starting to pray for a savior, right? So I'm not entirely sure if Renri knew about God, if that was his trump card or not, because he never called upon God before he got infected by the parasites. So it seemed to me like Renri was prepared to die. Now maybe he just didn't want to call upon God because he was like, yeah, we can't control that thing. So I don't know. But obviously you were right about God and how God was going to appear. Yeah, I cannot wait to see how this god comes in and possibly handles this parasite. I think this is going to be a crazy chapter 25, maybe chapter 25.2 is just going to be insane, dude. I would assume. But yeah, man, super great theory there. And I agree with you for the most part. All right. On to the next one. Okay. All right. So this one is from Jury Worst. Didn't I read a comment of yours above? I don't know. Maybe somebody else had the name Jury in there. So Jury Worst says, I love how one showcased the cruelty of Renri so casually here. Like that thing was normal for a lawless. Renri is a badass, and holy fucking shit, that parasite worm looking amazing. Best host yet. Bro, agree with you 100%. And that's what I'm saying, like, with the lawless, their ability to do some, reprehensible and really horrible things to the other enemies, not even just to other people, even to the other enemies, like what they did to the Titans and so on and so forth, bro. Yeah, it's definitely making them a threat to the other enemies as well as other humans. And yeah, that parasite worm is just crazy. I mean, and it gets even crazier or cooler in chapter 24.2 for sure. All right, man. Thank you for the comment, Jury. All right, this one is from Diamond Jirachi 6662. All right, so he says, seems like God will come in soon enough with all the references and with the teased fights from a while ago. It may also mean we finally get to see something from the games world with all the teased fights. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by the teased fight. Oh, I think you mean the teased fights from the trailer that was put out by Japan, that little video that we watched. Okay, for sure. Yeah, it definitely seemed like the gaming, the Extermia or recreational world and God were going to be fighting soon. I don't know how that's going to be set up, especially since we haven't seen either one of them yet. But for sure, I don't know if that's going to be a matchup soon or later or what's going to happen. But I will say this, man. You guys all kind of seen the God thing before I did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did notice the cathedral, stainless glass, and stuff like that. And part of me was like, oh, is that a reference to God or whatever? But I never really thought much of it. But you guys really predicted like, oh yeah, he's going to show up soon. And I was like, I thought Jachi was going to show up before God did. So you guys were definitely on the money before I was. All right. Thank you, Diamond. All right. Okay, so this one is from Compendium. So Compendium says, so here is the thing in all instances where the black lightning appears between two natural enemies. It ends with the death of one of them. Really? I did not notice that. Are you sure? Because there was black lightning between Jachi and the Titans when he was fighting Gembok, but nobody ended up dying. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. The only time a fight to the death got interrupted was Gala versus the Demon Executives by the Kaiju, and even then it ended with the death of the Demon Army. Oh, okay. The Lawless versus Tyrant Bear also had a black lightning and ended with the death of the bear and the victory of the Lawless, yet the Parasite did not have any black lightning separating it from the Lawless. So I was expecting it to be interrupted for sure. Bro, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something there. I think Renri and Gore will make it out of this alive for plot convenience and because they are both badasses. Yeah, bro, you might be right. And I agree with you. They are pretty cool. And it seems to me like they might be brothers. I don't know. Or related in some sort. All right. Thank you for the comment, Compendium. All right. Okay, so this one is from Caro99747. Caro says, I hate waiting every month for a cap. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I feel the same way, man. I feel the same way. Like, it seems like every chapter it gets ended on some kind of cliffhanger, you know, and it does get old after a while. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you know, I've definitely voiced my opinion already on how I feel about, you know, getting the chapter only once a month. I'm definitely ready to start receiving it at least twice a month. So I definitely agree with you there. Yeah, man, 30 days is a long time to wait for only one chapter. It really, really is. All right. Okay. Well, you know, we can't dwell on that too much, right? Because we can't control it. So, all right, let's see here. Okay, so this one is from excuse me, Adabazlamin 2683. My theory for the next chapter is that the parasite will continue to absorb other animals, becoming a very large and powerful being that even fire will not affect, and will fight Jachi when it arrives. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they used chapter 24.2 just came out, and they did use a little bit of fire. It seemed like it did still affect the parasite in a negative way. But you were obviously right that it was going to just continue absorbing other people and things around it. Apparently, it even has some of the curse technology in it as well as magic. Some, I guess, because it might have absorbed someone from Sorceria. So, man, bro, that parasite looks like a thing straight out of hell now. It's so crazy. So crazy. Kiyotaro Azuma is just doing an amazing job with the art. All right, thank you for the comment. All right, we're going on to the next one. El Drog. The bear is absolutely not the size of the kaiju. If we compare with the size of the Titans, it must be between 20 and 30 meters. Yeah, no, you guys are probably right. I might have just been speaking out of my ass right there. You guys are probably absolutely right. The bear is nowhere near it. It just appeared when they first introduced the bear. I was like, holy shit, it is really big. But you guys are probably right. It's probably nowhere near as big as the kaiju. So I do apologize. You guys are on my head about that. My bad, guys. All right. Thank you, Elder Rog. Appreciate your comment. All right. All right, this one is from Random Dude, everyone knows, also known as Mike. So Mike says, parasites are a problem. I think either it will mess shit up for a bit, then Renri or whatever the boss's name is will finish it somehow, or it will give them problems, and then Jachi or something else, maybe both, will intervene. Also, Shonen just posted that he will be covering verses next month. Said it's his favorite manga right now, I guess. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention that soon after Mastar's copying fake ass will follow suit. Damn, Mike went in on, bro. You be going in on Mastar, bro. Where am I at? I lost where I was. Even though he hasn't even mentioned it since those first two videos, however long ago. This is good, but it kind of annoys me at the same time. Sure, we will get more eyes on the series, but it's been popping since day one, and you've been covering it since day one, and you should just have more attention at your channel. Damn. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, bro. I post your channel name at every manga reviewing channel I find. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I've done it a couple of times on Shonen's, and he hasn't deleted it, unlike Grim Reaper's bitch ass. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Grim Reaper hasn't been reviewing it anymore. I don't know. I think he hasn't posted a video in like 2 months or something like that. I hope he's okay. You know, number one thing is I hope he's okay. You know, you never know what someone's going through in their personal life and stuff. So I hope he's okay. I just hope, you know, maybe he's just taking a break from YouTube or something like that. But yeah, he hasn't posted in a while. So I don't know. Just wanted to show you how fake Mastar really is. And not to take too much inspiration from him because you're killing him. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. We'd much rather authenticity. Zoe and everyone does it too. You're refreshing. All right, I'm done with my rant. I enjoyed your rant, Mike. I enjoyed it, man. I love hearing what you got to say, bro. Okay, so yeah, no, the parasite is definitely a problem. Again, chapter 24.2 just came out. Looks like something straight out of hell. It's very scary, man. You know, the parasite is a really big problem. I low key feel like the parasite might be amongst like the very strongest now. Now that we've seen like how far it can go, the parasite is really scary. Yeah, you know, now they're showing that God may step in, but then Jachi was on his way. So, you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen? I mean, Jachi might just witness God, and then who knows, Jachi might take that back to the great demon king, and be like, hey, I done saw some shit that I need to bring to your attention. You know, so who knows what's gonna fucking happen? Or because, you know, Jachi's a badass himself. Jachi seems to really seek a great fight, so he might see God and be like, oh, I need a piece of that. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? All right. Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely aware that Shonen is now covering verses. I saw that he recently posted a video about the newest chapter. Let's see here. Said it's his favorite manga right now. Yeah, okay, so you know, in this instance, Mike, I totally agree with you, bro. I feel very conflicted about Shonen now stepping in and starting to cover verses. It's like we're at chapter 24 now, dog. Okay. To all of us, verses was super good since chapter 1. You know, I liked verses just as much as I did back then as I do now. And I feel like if you didn't see the greatness that Versus was and had the potential to be, then are you really a fan? You know what I mean? Like, again, for me, I started covering Versus because Mastar stopped. And I said, dude, there's no way I'm going to go without Versus content. Even if I have to create it myself, I'm going to have Versus content, you know, because I listen to my own shit, you know, because I just love to listen to someone talk about Versus, you know. And of course, I love providing it for you guys. So for Shonen to say that Versus is his favorite manga right now, it's like, if that's true, dude, why did it take you so long to start covering it? Where were you at when everybody was like, oh damn, bro, like where's all the manga reviewers at, man? We need some Versus content. Like, you were nowhere to be found. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like that saying, right? It's like, you didn't care how, what's the saying? It's like, God, I don't want to mess it up, but it's like, you didn't care how I was doing, so don't ask me where I'm at, or something like that. Something like that. And basically what that phrase means, what that thing means is like, if you didn't care about it in the past, don't care about it now. You know what I'm saying? Because it definitely looks like you're jumping on the bandwagon now, you know. And look, I like Shonen. I believe I'm subscribed to Shonen. I definitely watch some of Shonen stuff. In regards to One Punch Man, I think that Shonen has a very unique and detailed perspective, and I enjoy him. And for the most part, you know, I think that Shonen you know, doesn't get too crazy overhyped, which I appreciate, you know. But yeah, it definitely looks like you're jumping on the bandwagon now. You know, like, you see it's gonna blow up, it's gonna be really good, it's gonna be popular, and now you're like, oh, now I need to hop on there. But again, where were you at when no one was trying to touch it? You know, even though it was really good. So, you know, that's the thing, man. It's just like, I don't know. I feel very conflicted about it, just like you do, Mike. It's like, in a way, I am happy that he's covering it now, because it will bring more attention to Versus. Because let's not kid ourselves, Shonen has a really big following. Okay, 284,000 subscribers. A good portion of those subscribers do consistently watch his content and stuff, so it'll definitely bring more attention, more popularity to Versus. And for that, you know, I do thank Shonen for that. But it definitely seems, I don't want to say fake, but it definitely seems like, oh, let me hop on the bandwagon now that it's a little bit more popular. And it's like, if you were a true fan, you would have started it from the get-go, you know? And then I agree with you as well, Mike. You know, like, it is a possibility that Mastar will now start to, he might start to cover Versus now too, because yes, him, Shonen, and even sometimes Anime Anxiety, they will copy each other. Now, one thing I did, and you guys let me know if I'm right or not on this. So, one thing I noticed that Shonen does copy either Mastar or Anime Anxiety about is the way they do their videos. Like, all three of them have been kind of like jumping between having their videos where it's just their voice in the pictures, you know, like, you don't see them, you only hear their voice. And then they have some other videos where you see them and then they put the pictures on the side, like similar to the way I do it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I got that method from Mastar Media when, you know, I was fresh and new to YouTube. That was the way Mastar did his videos, and I really liked it because I'd like to see the content creators' expressions. I'd like to see the person themselves. So the idea of me just doing a voiceover was never appealing, because I was like, I want people to see me. I want them to see my excitement. I want them to see, you know, how passionate I am. So from that point on, I knew that's how I was going to do my videos. Okay. But, you know, Mastar, Shonen, and Anime Anxiety, they've been jumping between showing themselves and not showing themselves. And for the very longest time, Shonen has not been showing himself. If you watch a lot of his more recent videos that aren't verses, he's just talking and you see the pictures, but you don't see Shonen, right? Now, when Anime Anxiety started showing himself, all of a sudden Shonen was like, oh, I'm going to do my videos like this now, to where he was showing himself, which clearly to me indicated that he was copying Anime Anxiety, okay, at that point, because again, they all copy each other. But then he stopped doing it again. And it was like, what happened, Shonen? I thought you were going to show yourself. I thought that's how you were going to do your videos. But Mastar stopped showing himself. So maybe he was like, well, Mastar isn't doing it, so I'm going to do it the way Mastar is. I don't fucking know. However, I am noticing for his versus video, he's doing it very similar to my videos. He's showing himself talking, and then he's just putting the pictures, you know, abroad and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, dude, are you like copying mine now? Like, for one, I mean, look, bro, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want. But it definitely seems like you're having an internal conflict of how you want to present yourself in these videos. Or I could be wrong. Maybe he's just like, you know what? I'm just going based off of how I feel by the day. You know, there might be a day where I don't want to show myself. There might be a day where I do want to show myself. I personally don't understand what the difference would be. I don't know why one day some person would be like, I don't want to show myself today. And then another day a person would be like, oh, I want to show myself today. Like, I don't understand the difference. It's a little weird. It just seems like Shonen changes it based off of his competition, you know? And it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to really say too much else about it, but some of the behavior is a little weird. Some of the behavior definitely seems like it's copycatish. And although I do like Shonen, I don't like those characteristics. You know, find your own thing that you feel comfortable doing and just do it that way. Now, if you love verses, you know, make sure you continue covering it, you know, because if we start to see that you're no longer covering it, I'm gonna feel like, you know, this genuine, oh, I love verses isn't real. I mean, I still think, again, if you really loved it so much, I don't understand why you would wait till chapter 24 to cover it. I mean, let's be real, bro. Verses really started popping like by chapter like 7. And then it really started popping even more beyond that by like chapter 11, you know? So, and when it's been out now for what, 2 or 3 years, versus, you know, because the chapters come out once a month. So I don't know, bro. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. But yeah, Mastar might start reviewing it now. And again, these are good, you know, because Mastar has almost 4 million subscribers. Now, a good portion of Mastar's subscribers don't actually watch his videos. If you actually look at the views on Mastar's videos, only like, you know, so less than 100,000 usually watch a video at a time. But sometimes he'll only get, you know, the highest he'll get is only like 150,000 views. Or, you know, don't get me wrong, if a video has been posted for a very long time, over time it will accumulate a lot of views. Like his Mastar's verses chapter reviews for 1 and 2, I think one of them is at 386,000 now or something like that. But that's because it's been posted for so long. But it's weird. It's like, how do you have almost 4 million subscribers, but only a very small percentage of them actually watch your content? It almost kind of makes me believe, like, do you genuinely have 4 million subscribers? Or a lot of your subscribers like bots or something like that? I don't know. It's a little weird, because I just feel like for you to have that many subscribers, I would assume at least, I don't know, every video you post, you would get anywhere from 200 to maybe like 500,000 views. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, see, look at the can of worms you done open, Mike. Like you got me going in on these two, man. Uh, and again, I like Mastar. I like Shonen. I'm on the fence about anime anxiety because I'm not gonna lie, anime anxiety has been he gets kind of annoying sometimes because he's always trying to hype up One Punch Man, and it's like, dude, stop with the bullshit. One Punch Man is ass right now. You keep trying to hype it up. I'm excited. It's a great chapter. No, it fucking isn't, bro. The ninja arc sucks. Stop trying to hype it up. It's sad, is what it really is. You can't even be honest with yourself and be, yeah, bro, it's shit weak. And it's because your whole channel is based off of One Punch Man. And I get that. You want to keep, the hype for your channel going, but bro, get into something else until One Punch Man gets back on a foot. Stop trying to call it fucking gold when it's a fucking turd. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is weird. But anyway, I'm on to another one. All right, thank you, Mike. Appreciate your comment, bro. All right, this one is from Nax, and he or she says, great video. I like the Mad God foreshadowing we got in this chapter. I'm hoping he lives up to his name. Thank you, man. I really appreciate the compliment, and I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I hope that the Mad God lives up to the name because, again, you're a god, bro. So you should be doing some just crazy off the wall shit. Seriously. So yeah, I really don't want to be disappointed. I really, really don't. All right. Thank you, Nax. Appreciate the comment. All right. This one is from Joseph Ross 8753. A little disappointed the chapter being short, but man, it really made me curious. Oh yeah, for sure. That's the thing. We know we're always going to get a really good story. No, it could be 5 pages. By the end of the 5 pages, they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger. We know that, they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger. We're going to be curious what's going to happen next. It is an amazing story. But yeah, man, just to wait 30 days and get a super short chapter is just not cool. Not cool. All right. Appreciate that, Joseph. Appreciate your comment. This one is from Dark Garu. Oh, I see you got a new profile picture, Dark Garu. That looks really cool. Man, you really like Garu. That's really cool, man. I like that. Garu is one of my favorite characters from One Punch Man too. That was really a big twist that the Tyrant Bear turned into a parasite. It looked terrifying, and I have to say that the lawless world isn't weak too when it comes to mind games. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there was a lot of twists, and turns in this chapter, and yeah, the lawless are definitely showing their grit for sure. All right, good to see you as always, Dark Garu. Golden. Heck yeah. So Golden says at 6 minutes and 12 seconds, they both gonna fight each other. Trying to think around that time. I don't know which one that is. I'll check on that later, Golden. But hey, man, I always like to see you in the comments, man. Thank you for posting. All right. So this one is from the bit Alishirani 4114. 4114 says the parasite stocks have risen. That's what makes this manga so great. Every enemy is more entertaining than the last. I agree 100%. It's like he just keeps raising the bar, like it's just just one after the other. So I agree with you there. These parasites are truly insidious foes. I believe they will wipe out the organic life fodder, leaving only the robots standing tall at the top along with the aliens. I want to see the demons and giants get annihilated by the parasites. Damn, I love this manga. Also, I want your opinion. What do you think the reason behind the Matarin's durability? Okay, man, that was a lot to unpack. You put so much in such a small sentence or paragraph there. Okay, I agree with you. I was saying that too. Like the parasites kind of seem like straight out of hell, bro. They just the way they're drawn, how like scary they are, like you said, insidious they are. It's like, man, this seems like something you would encounter in like hell or something like that. So I agree with you there. I believe they will wipe out organic life, leaving only the robots. Wow, that's a really good, because they did say that it overtook the forest and stuff, nature. So that's not totally off, or impossible. So that's a great prediction. And then you said leaving only the robots standing. Oh, because the robots aren't organic. Okay, that's a really good prediction. Yeah, I know that is a thing. Like, I don't know if the parasite is going to be able to bother the robots at all, or the ordnance mecha, I should say. That's really interesting. And then you said, along with the aliens. I don't know, man. Because again, when the aliens said that the parasite was no threat to them, one of them was getting their ass beat by Jachi. And they also said that the demons were no threat to them. So the aliens could just be being overly confident and not necessarily taking everything into account. So I don't know about the aliens, but the robots, I could definitely see them not being affected by the parasite. Maybe. But I mean, if you look at that show, that animated show Scavengers on HBO Max, I mean, there's a robot in there, but technically the organic parasite that is on that planet started to affect that robot. It started to give the robot almost like life. So who knows, man? The parasite might still be able to affect the robots. We'll see. Again, if you want to reference what I'm referring to, it's a show called Scavengers. It's on HBO Max. It's an animated show. The cover of it, usually you'll see a girl, a girl who's like sitting down. She's black. She has short hair. She's kind of pretty and stuff like that. But yeah, the show is called Scavengers. Now, in that show, there's a robot that she uses to help herself out. But when they arrive to this alien planet, this almost like organic parasite starts to, or a parasite from the planet, it basically enters the robot's internals and starts to like bind to the robot, and then it starts to make the robot like feel pain, makes the robot think, like it almost like it's giving the robot life. So it's a possibility that one can incorporate something similar to that with the parasites and the ordnance mecha here. So we don't know. It might affect them. It might. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see the demons and the giants get annihilated. Why? Why? What's the problem with the demons and the giants, man? Why you got such a problem with the demons and the giants? I thought Gimbok was pretty cool. I think Jachi's cool. I think the Great Demon King seems to be cool. Like, I don't know why you want to see them get annihilated so badly, especially by the parasites. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Damn, I love this manga, bro. I couldn't agree with you more there, bro. This manga is, I think most of us on this channel, in these comments, I think most of us think that this is probably the #1 manga for sure. Unlike Shonen's fake ass. I don't know, bro. Shonen just came out of nowhere and, oh, this is my favorite manga, even though it's been out for almost 3 years. And like, Shonen posts new videos. I think he posts like 4 or 5 new videos a week, bro. If Versus has been your favorite manga, why has it taken you so long to cover it? I don't know, bro. It just seems super fake to me. It seems like he's hopping on the bandwagon. I don't know. Mike, look at what you doing, man. Come on, man. You starting stuff, man. All right. Thank you for leaving that. The bits al Sharani. Okay. Okay, this one is from Diego Asgard TBT top one. That bear got smoked. Holy shit. Just what other things do Lawless have? And that's just one faction. Facts, bro. I agree with you. That's just one faction. I'm really curious to see how Ruthless and how the other factions of the Lawless are faring. They might even be more of a threat than this Kyoki one. And yeah, that Curse Land weapon really did some damage for sure. All right, appreciate you, Diego. All right, we're getting there. We're getting to the bottom here. Okay, this one is from Abdelmajidul Zadi 5192. He says, I wonder what if the parasites infected the Titan, demon, or even one of the executives. What if it even reaches the world tree? The same goes for the soul container, which the more souls it absorbs, or the stronger the soul, the more powerful the soul container can be. I even want to add that the Lawless have a lot of unknown arsenals in their sleeve. They might combine the technology and the weapons of the other worlds just to get what they want. I think they're going to be some character with a lot of otherworld weapons combined so he can rival the top powerful characters. Damn, bro, that's a really good theory. You know, like they just start mixing weapons together from different worlds. Wow. Yeah, that would be crazy. Almost kind of like they turn themselves into like a Iron Man-ish kind of deal, you know, like just using technology from Ordnance Mecha, the Curse World, hell, even Sorceria, you know, having the hero sword, you know, the Sword of Courage, like that sword is really, that shit is like a Gundam sword, dude, you know. So yeah, you may be right there for sure. Wow, I didn't even think about that. All right, appreciate the comment, bro. Yeah, and I definitely think that if the parasite infects like a top level demon, bro, my bad. I think I'd like spit into the fucking microphone. Sorry if that hurt you guys' ear, but yeah, like if it infected Joshi or something, bro, it'd be a wrap. It would be a wrap. All right, this one is from I'm a fucking butcher this. Chaten P. Flans. Man, that kind of sounds like French or something. I wonder, are you French? Chaten P. Flans, 3755. Guess God will take care about it. This looks too hard to draw to stay around for a whole another part. Man, I'm not going to lie. I don't really understand your comment. Guess God will take care about it. So it sounds like you're saying guess God is going to come and take care of it, which I totally agree with you with. This looks too hard to draw. Oh, you're saying that the art, it looks extremely hard to draw. I couldn't agree with you more, bro. That's what I'm saying. Kiyotaro Azuma is doing his thing. Too hard to draw to stay around for a whole nother part. Right. Oh, man. And yeah, he did his thing in the other part too. You're absolutely right. Sorry about that. I had to like really analyze your sentence for a second, but once I really, you know, analyzed it, it made total sense. So sorry about that. But thank you, Chaten P. Flans, for your comment. Thank you so much. All right. Got 3 left here. This one is from Darian Donaldson. What if the parasites are slowly infecting the whole entire world and it's in the plant supply and the food supply? Absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's very many humans left, comparatively speaking, you know, as to like what it probably was before all of these natural enemies took over. Because like take Sorceria, for example, when the story first started, they said that the only humanity left was the humans in the fort for humanity. Everyone else was gone. So you know, there's really not a whole lot of humans for the parasite to affect in that regard, you know, being in the plant supply and the food supply. Like, plus remember, when they cook the food, it kills the parasite. So as long as they cook all their food, they're good. They just can't eat raw sushi and shit like that, you know. All right. Appreciate the comment, Darian. All right. This one is from Cypher P9. Cypher says, Parasites plus Gaia's Wrath. I kind of figured fusions between different threats would happen. I thought parasites would fuse with demons and multiply their power. The curse has that potential too. I see Neos fusing with both tech and mana, creating Gundams that could use magic. Wow. Damn, dude. So you're predicting a whole lot of fusions, which you could be right. I mean, I don't think they're going to happen one after another. But yeah, I definitely think as the story progresses, we might definitely see some hybrids of some sort for sure. And I agree with you 100% too. I definitely was like, man, what if a parasite infects a demon? Like, man, it's got to multiply its power by a lot, you know? That's crazy. All right. Appreciate the comment, Cypher. All right, and last comment. This one is from Lazy Mode 21. Good to see you, Lazy Mode. People think that Gaia's Wrath is weak against Parasite, but there are insects that can heat themselves like the Japanese bees. Interesting. That's very interesting. So you think that there might be some creatures within Gaia's Wrath that the Parasite will not be able to affect. That's actually a pretty good idea, man. And you're absolutely right. There are some creatures that can generate a lot of heat within themselves, therefore being somewhat immune to the parasite. Wow, that's a really good analysis there, Lazy Mode. Wow. All right, guys. Well, that's it, man. That's the comment read for chapter 24, part 1. Let's go ahead and head back up here. I don't know what that was about, but okay. So yeah, man, thank you guys for posting all of your comments. I really enjoyed reading all of them. I think that your guys' ideas and perspectives are really unique, and I think they're ahead of their time because a lot of you predicted exactly what happened in chapter 24.2. So that's really impressive, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed me reading your comments. I hope you guys feel appreciated. I hope you guys feel heard, because that's what these comment reads are for. So I will be doing another comment read. I'm going to try to do it within the next couple of days I want to do it for the video I made about the Mystery Titan, because I did, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. I read a few, and I wanted to reply to them and stuff, so I will try to do a comment read for that. I want to give the newest video that I did for chapter 24.2, I want to give that like 1 or 2 more days for more people to post their comments, so when I go and do the comment read for 24.2, there's plenty of comments to go through, and a lot of people don't feel left out, okay? So I try to give it at least like 3 to 5 days before I start doing a comment read for a new video. So yeah, man, appreciate you guys very, very much. I hope you guys feel appreciated. And but yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Bye.